Hi everyone, it's Mr. Allen here. So today we're going to go through some hexadecimal conversions. So first we're going to start off with some hexadecimal and convert it to decimal or denary. So we're going from this hexadecimal number here back to numbers that we would regularly use. And then after that we're going to go through and look at some converting from decimal or denary through to hexadecimal, so our regulars, and then converting it to hexadecimal. So what we need to do when we think about hexadecimal is make sure that we have our column headers. So you'll notice this time it's not 1, 2, 4, it's 1, 16, 256. And that's because, as you all know, that hexadecimal uses base 16, so numbers 0 to 9, and then A, B, C, D, E, and F. Cool, so with that in mind, what we do is we just we'll times this column by 16 and this by 1. So for example, our first one we'll look at is E7. So E7 we're going to look at, so we've got 16, what's E? So we look on our little conversion chart, and I would always write this down, so you go 1 through to 9, it's just 1 to 9 like usual, and then 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. This is A, B, C, D, E, and F. So we use these letters here to represent those numbers. So with that in mind, we go, first we'll look at 16, so that's E. So we'll go, oh, what's this? E, so that's 14 times 16, because it's the 16th column. So what we can do is we can pop that into our calculator. So we go 14 times 16, which is 224. And then we go here, which is just 7 times 1, because it's in the 1 column. 7, and then we can just add those two together, so 224 add 7, and that will be 231. So that's just, relatively straightforward, two numbers, and with three numbers it's slightly more difficult, but not too much more difficult. So I'll scribble these out just so that you don't get confused, and then we'll go say A in this column, and then we'll go say C, and then we'll go, I don't know, 5. So it looks very confusing at the moment. Same process again though, so we'll go look in this column, so it's 256 this column times A, and A is 10. So we'll go 256 times 10, which when we put this in here is 2,560. So hopefully you can see that we've gone through 256 times 10, you're just timesing it there in the conversion to get that, and then we go for the next column, and this, remember this one is 16 times, and then we've got C, so we look on C conversion, oh there we are, C is 12, so we go 16 times 12, so 192, and then this last one we got 1 times 5. Let's pull that down. Then we want to add these all together, and that's fine. What we'll do is we'll just use our calculator. So go 2,560 plus 192 plus 5. 2757. There we are. So we can see, even though with more numbers it's just straightforward, you just got to do more steps. Just make sure that when you convert these that you look at the column names, and that's just 16 times 16, so they go up in 16, unlike binary, which is in 2s. Cool. So what you can do now is you can have a little go at those, or maybe just think of your own numbers and have a look at that. Just remember to write down here, but now you should be able to look at and convert the hexadecimal back to decimal or denary. And what we'll cover really quickly is just going from denary to hexadecimal, so that's fine. So this time we're going to convert, go for a number, say 210 is what we'll convert this time. So with this you just got to do 210 divided by 16, because remember it's base 16, which is 13.125 divided by 16. So what we do is we can just write the whole number here, so we go the 13's in this bit, but remember 13 is not 13 hexadecimal, we use our little conversion over here, so we go 13 is D, so we can actually pop D in that column. So that bit's fine. And then you can do this two different ways. You can go 0.125, you can times that by 16. So if we go 0.125 times 16, we find that that is 2. So we can pop 2 there. So you can do it a slightly different way. So if you've got that whole number, you could just take away the 13 times 16. So you could take that 208 away from the original 210, and then you could work out what the remainder is from that. So if we're looking, the remainder of that is 2, and you could just pop that in. But if you have a calculator to hand, I'd recommend that you go through, you just times the remainder, so the 0.125 by 16 again. So we'll go through another one. I'll go, say, I don't know, maybe 241. So we can go on our calculator, 241 divided by 16 is 15.0625. So that's okay. 241 divided by 16, 15.0625. So hopefully we can then just go, oh look, the whole number is 15, so we go over to our little conversion, 15 equals F, so that's fine, pop the F there. And then we've got the 0.0625, so 0.0625. And then we just times that by 16 as well to find our remainder. Times 16 equals 1, F1. And then, or as we said previously, you could just do 15 times 16, 240, and take that from 241, you'd find that you've got one remainder. So hopefully that's clearer. Have a look at some of the questions on another video where I tell you to go through some examples. So have a go at that, or maybe refresh and have a little look through again. Again, top tips would be write down the conversions. Nice simple, 1's 15 on the decimal side, and then 1 to 9 is the same, and then just 10 is A, 11 is B, 12 is C, 13 is D, 14 is E, 15 is F. So hopefully that's fine, and then you actually just pop in obviously the 16 times each one on there. So instead of 124, it's 116, 256. Thank you, and have a go at some others.